Hey guys, welcome. Thank you for joining me today. And today I want to talk to you about two palettes. The Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture and the Naked Heat palette. These two palettes have been reviewed all over the internet, all over YouTube, and I've seen positive and negative things about these palettes. And I went on to talk to you about these. I have posted a few tutorials in my channel on the Anastasia Subculture because I've seen all the negative reviews this has received. I think that it is a wonderful palette. There are a couple of colors or shades in here that are really difficult to blend, as it has been described in all of the YouTube gurus out there. And so I just want to talk to you about them. The three colors that are the most difficult to blend are the darkest ones, which are the Axis, which is this dark blue up here, and then I think this is Rowdy, and the other one is Untamed. Now my favorite colors on this palette are pretty much all of them except for Axis and Rowdy, because they are super difficult to blend, and every time I apply Axis I feel I get a really muddy look. However, the rest of the palette is really fantastic. I know a lot of people really like Cube, but honestly my favorite is Electric right here. I used Electric today combined with Destiny and New Wave and Edge. I created a color and I posted on my Instagram, which is the same thing as my YouTube, which is Mellowlicious. I'll make sure and pop it up here. And I post images with, or eyeshadow looks or eye looks with this Subculture palette that I've been creating. And I think it's a wonderful palette. I really like the colors. I can create, or you can create if you choose to, multiple looks that are different. This is so versatile. And I think that's one of the most wonderful things about this palette, that it is very versatile. You can go warm and you can go cool, and it has a lot of possibilities. You just have to use a very, very light hand when you use this palette, because otherwise you can oversaturate and the colors will get out of control. And I think some of the YouTube gurus out there have stated that, and have also indicated that these two dark colors, or these two colors plus Untamed, are really difficult to blend. All the other ones are really easy to work with, or easier to work with than these three. So with that, I want to move on and talk about Heat. I personally love this palette because I love warm colors. Now I am the owner of only, I think, four Naked palettes. I have Naked Basics, Naked Heat, Naked 3, and Naked Smoky. And I believe those are the four palettes that are easier for me to use and are actually more complementary to my skin tone, and the color of my eyes are easier to make come out, make them pop, and they're just more complementary to me. So which is the reason why I purchased only those Naked palettes. I'm not a big of a warm toned person when it comes to eyeshadows. This is a beautiful palette. The only complaint I have is about the shimmers, which is Lumbre, Dirty Talk, Scorched. Those are, oh, and Ember. Those are the four shimmer shadows in this palette, and I believe they're not strong enough. And also the ounce is not enough of a brightening shadow or a highlighting shadow to highlight the high points of the eye. So for example, under the brow bone, in the corner of the eye. If you want to supplement this palette, you can use single eyeshadows in whatever color you want to add to this Naked palette. But again, this is another versatile palette, which you can go from really dark, vampy, or very light day, or have a very nice night look with this palette. So I think this also has a great potential to create multiple looks. I am done with the makeup for the day, and I am more than happy to demonstrate how to use the Subculture palette. I can create a couple of looks for you using this palette and telling you which colors I am using. Again, this is a very versatile palette. You can create multiple looks with this, and I really like it, and I don't think it deserves all the hate it's receiving online. So with that, I'm guessing I can go ahead and just kind of do a little demo and just kind of create an eye look that you can probably recreate and enjoy. I'm trying to find a good mirror for this particular item, but I think I can use the one in here, and I will walk you through using this palette. I'm not a makeup artist or certified by any means. I am an ordinary person in the world, walking through life, enjoying it, and enjoying makeup. And for that reason alone, I want to show you how to use this palette without listening to everything you do on YouTube. I want to give you another option on what to do, because sometimes some people, for example, spend their hard-earned money on a palette like this, and then they're like, crap, how do I use it? I'm wasting my money, and now they can't recover that money, or the store won't accept returns or X. But if you've already purchased this palette and you want to know how to use it, I think I have a very good idea, an option on how to use. I'm going to start with using this NYX concealer as a primer. And I'm just going to prime my eyes with this concealer. Just for today, I usually use a different concealer, but I've put all of those away. But I'm going to go ahead and start with this. And I'm just going to apply it all over. And the beauty with this palette is you don't need any supplemental shadows with it. You can just use this one and run with it. It is that easy to use. Okay, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and start. I usually use this big fluffy brush, and I got this at BH Cosmetics. It is a number 29, it's part of a set. And I'm gonna go in with Dawn, which is this brown color up here, which is kind of like a very peachy brown skin tone color nude. There is fallout, so I am gonna tap it. Usually you can tap the excess off or tap it so that it settles in the brush. And then it should be enough to do both eyes. To set both eyes with this shadow. So usually I'm doing this in the middle of the night. No, I'm just kidding, like at the crack of dawn as I'm getting ready for work. But today I'm doing it this evening after work so that I have enough time to show you how this works. So I've literally just set my concealer or my primer with this shadow with just one touch. Where I did like 1, 2, 3, and then I tapped, settled the excess into the brush and, you know, kind of excessed out. And then I applied it to both eyelids. It is that strong and that pigmented. This is a wonderful set of eyeshadows. Okay, so now I'm going to take this brush that came in my BoxyCharm, and this is the Moda Pro. I love this brush. It's a great fluffy blending brush. And I'm going to go in with Edge and apply that on my crease and a little bit above it. And I'm just going to show you how I tapped into this. It's really easy. I usually roll my brush in eyeshadows like this because it creates the least amount of fallout or of powder, and it picks up on the brush very well. And then I'm just gonna tap it like this and let the eye color settle in, and I'm gonna go in. As you can see, it applies really nicely, and you can actually do it on both eyes without having to go back in for more, or you can just slightly tap the brush in. You don't need to rub it in, you just tap it very softly because these are soft shadows. So when you have soft shadows like this, you don't need to rub your brush in the shadow to pick up the color. In order to pick it up just enough, you just have to tap it and just slightly rub it in. No pressure needed. just enough to turn the brush inside of the shadow or on the shadow pan to pick up those colors. And you will see how long your shadows last and how it does not create a mess. So I've applied that and I buffed it in. These shadows practically blend themselves. You don't need to put a lot of work in there. And then I'm gonna go in with this fluffy brush. Again, this is from BH Cosmetics. And this is a Vegan 5. I guess it's a V5. And it's a nice blending fluffy brush. Then I'm gonna go in with New Wave. Again, I'm just gonna go in and slightly roll my brush in there. And whatever excess, I just tap it and pick it up. And then I'm just gonna tap it like this to let it settle in the brush. Then I'm gonna go directly in the crease, below edge, and just enough to overlap it. Again, it's a very soft eyeshadow application, and you can see it goes a long way. So they practically blend themselves. They don't blend away, but they do blend in quite well into the shadow that you want. So I can challenge myself and go in with a darker shade. I've seen some YouTubers that have been using this palette use a very smaller pencil brush to apply the darker colors. I'm gonna go in with Untamed. And actually I wanna use a natural bristle brush. This is so old. This is a small shading brush I got in a bag from Sally Beauty Supply ages ago. So again, I'm just going to slightly scoop some of that shadow up. I am showing you how I'm picking up the shadow. I'm tapping it so it'll settle in and, you know, just kind of the excess go away a little bit. And then I'm gonna go, I wanted to create a halo effect. So I'm gonna go in the inner corner first. And then the outer corner. And then meet them in the middle. Above, just leaving a slight space and then blending it up and in. See, it's a very, the key to this shadow palette or this eyeshadow palette is to be soft and gentle. And a little bit, literally a little bit goes a long way. And if you want, you can take one of the shadow brushes like this that you already have powder residual eyeshadow in and go in and blend out those edges. It is extremely easy to use and not to exaggerate anything or mess up your eye look, because again, these are easy shadows that are to be used with gentle hands. Again, I'm using very little and I'm just scooping up that shadow. Easy, easy, easy. So don't be afraid of this eyeshadow palette. It's not as hard as it looks. I'm gonna use this MAC eyeshadow brush in 233. It's a dual-sided natural brush combined with synthetic bristles, and I'm gonna go in with the natural side and I'm gonna pick up Electric. Magic is one of the duochrome shadows in the brush or in the palette that is super easy to use, and it transforms any of the other matte shadows that it touches. It literally transforms the eyeshadow and applies a wonderful in a gold greenish sheen, so you can see. Just in the center, applying the shadow. With hardly any blending, and just softly using these eyeshadows, I'm able to create this eyeshadow look. So if you want to highlight, if you want to blend, you can also take a clean brush like this one and then just go in again and blend like this. So also I'm going to pick up Cube with this clean brush. It's a very soft eyeshadow brush, and then just apply it at the very under the brow bone. Again, Cube provides like a soft white iridescent duochrome pink and white, and it's a very nice highlighting color. And again, it just, when the highlight hits it, you'll see how pretty it is. And just like that, I created an eyeshadow look. Say you want to keep this eyeshadow look and you want to transition into not green, but say add some of the blue. You can take a small pencil brush like this. This is from Sephora. And I'm going to go in, I'm going to deepen it in with Rowdy. Now this is one of the dark eyeshadows. And I'm just pressing my brush in there. Pressing it and lifting, pressing and lifting. And then just settling, tapping it to settle the eyeshadow in, the pigment in the brush. So now I'm just gonna go on the outer corner and gently wing it out, kind of like eyeshadows, eyeliner style. And then just curving it in to the crease and under the eye or on the bottom lashes. And wham! I just created a nice little wing. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna just press it in. It's gonna pick up the color, and I'm settling the color inside the brush. No excess, not too much because I didn't use that much. Smoking night look. These are very wearable for any time during the day, at any given moment. So don't be afraid of subculture, guys. And I'm one of the most amateurist makeup artists out there. So with that, I want to thank you for staying with me, for watching this video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye.